Up next, we have Winston the Wonder Wiener and Boomer the Traveling Adventure Dog. Have they been naughty or nice? The people have spoken, and they say for Winston, Cole! And for Boomer, Cole! Justice has been served! We interrupt this episode of Puppy Dog Christmas Justice so that we may bring you this.
So our Transamerica Trail series is now out on YouTube. David, what would you tell folks that haven't seen our Transamerica Trail series yet? What would you tell them about the trip?
Well, if you've not seen the Transamerica Trail series, you definitely want to see it. It's a 7,000-mile, 7-week cross-country adventure, coast to coast, on the back roads, the dirt roads of the Transamerica Trail. It's absolutely gorgeous. The stuff that we saw there, you're just not going to believe. And the purpose of the video is to show you all that stuff, but at the same time, show you how you can take that trip, that travel adventure of a lifetime, and do it all for less than $3,500.
Traveling is something that can touch the soul in a very real way. It can remind us about parts of ourselves that we had forgotten. It can spark new life and enthusiasm. It can put things into perspective and help us return to center. All of these things and more we experienced on the Transamerica Trail. This is our story. All right, so this morning we're in Covington, Virginia. We woke up right where Virginia Track 2 and Virginia Track 3 connect. We got a dispersed camping spot there last night, crashed out. Got up this morning and got started. Found a little McDonald's here in Covington, got some breakfast, and we're just about ready to get back on Virginia Track 3. We've got about 10 miles left of that track. Virginia Track 3 so far has been a slow go. It's a 100% gravel road so far, but the problem has been all of the potholes. It's had a lot of washout in that area, so ruts that have just really kind of slowed things down, serious potholes. So we probably only averaged 15 miles an hour so far on this track. We're gonna ride for several hours this morning, but probably by lunchtime, we're gonna break off the trail, get on the main roads and head over to Asheville. And we're gonna do that because we've got some folks coming up from Orlando from the Dirty Bus Jeep Club that are gonna meet with us, and we're going to do some trail riding with them over at Hurricane Creek. Hurricane Creek. It's one of the trails that we've been looking to do for a good while, and so several folks are coming up to meet us, and we'll do that over there. All right, so we're finishing Virginia 3 right now. When we came out of Covington, the trail was all paved, so our speed has picked up. It's a very windy road, but we've been able to do about 30 miles an hour through most of it. It's very narrow. So when you come head on with another vehicle, that's always interesting. But still, we're making better time than we were this morning. So our average speed, because we've been able to do about 30 miles an hour, we've bumped up to about 18 so far average for the day. We're down to the last few miles of Virginia Track 4. And oh my goodness, we've been seeing the adventure bikes today. Most of them have been going the same direction as us, but this one just came on us. We were coming around a corner and he came flying around that corner. I don't know how we didn't hit.
I was doing 9 miles an hour and I'm like barely going, and I'm looking, and he's on me like that. And yeah. Thank God for his reaction time, because I don't know how he kept from hitting me head on.
We both jumped and it was just a blur and he was gone. It was like, oh my God. And then about 15 seconds later, here came his buddy on another bike.
But his buddy's bike was louder. This guy's bike was so whisper quiet. It's scared the out of me. I just thought I killed that guy.
Yeah. Well,
thank God I did not.
Thank God we didn't have an accident there, but Well, I don't know. Did you have an accident?
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're just a few miles north of Newport, Virginia. Time to stop and smell the roses. We found this really cool place worth checking out. Well, we needed a place to stop, stretch the legs, and so about 10 miles west of Blacksburg, we found this place that shows on the map just simply as Big Falls, Windy Falls. All right, so we're finishing Virginia track number 4 and starting Virginia track number 5. And Virginia track number 4 got to be really interesting there for a while. When we came out of Covington, it was all paved and we were moving pretty quickly, and then we got into a forest trail section and that became mountainous, so a lot of switchbacks, and then came the adventure bikes, and oh my goodness. Tiffany was just saying this morning that, you know, with it being Saturday on Memorial Day weekend, you know, there might be more adventure bikes out. We have not really seen very many adventure bikes. And the Transamerica Trail is originally designed for adventure bikes, so we kind of thought that was odd, but you know, we've been traveling during the week. So here it is Saturday, and we've seen probably at least 30 adventure bikes today. Yeah, we had 20 of them that come rolling through in one little section right there. So yeah, that got to be pretty interesting through some of those tight sections and tight turns. And even now that we're back out onto a paved section here, we just pulled over and let a couple of them go by. They're out in force today.
So on Saturday, we got off the Transamerica Trail in Bland, Virginia. We headed south towards Asheville, where we met up with some of the Dirty Bunch Jeep Club. There we spent the weekend camping, hanging out, riding some trails around that area in North Carolina. Then on Monday, we left with Paul and headed east towards his family's house, where we stayed the night, played with some baby peacocks. Oh my God, they were so cute. And then we headed back north about an hour and a half to get back on the trail in Bland.
We're up here now on the trail. It's about 1:30, and so we're going to be able to get a little bit done today, and then tomorrow we'll be back with a full day worth of trail riding. So right now we are about 5 miles west of a small town in Virginia called Bland, Virginia, and we're just leaving off of the main roads and going back onto the trails. So gravel roads, climbing, switchbacks, going up into the mountains. This section of the trail is kind of like what we've been seeing for the last several days on the TAT, where it's a lot of winding gravel mountain roads and a lot of tree cover. The wind temperatures here in the mountains aren't bad. They're like 75 degrees. But if you come rolling through here in June, July, you really appreciate this cloud cover or this tree cover. It's always significantly cooler back in here than it is out on the main roads. And so we love these trails, especially when it's warmer weather. There's nobody here. The scenery is beautiful. It's nice and cool. You can have the windows down and you just enjoy the ride. This is how you want to go coast to coast. So the trail that we're on today is Virginia track number 6. We should get over to track number 7 here in about half an hour, but this track is gorgeous. There are places in every state that we go to where you can get out like this and just get away from everybody and be out for hours and not see another car, not see another person. And then you find these overlooks like this and you see just how much open, wide open space there is in this country. It's amazing. All right, so we're on Virginia track number 7. It starts off with some really, really nice paved roads, and then it cuts back into the forest road. So we're back on the forest roads right now, and we're enjoying that. Lots of splashing water today as we're going along, so can't keep the windows down entirely or we're gonna get wet, but it's a very nice ride today. We're enjoying it. So we're finishing up Virginia track number 7, and we have absolutely loved this section. This track number 7, lots of wide open mountain views. The trails have been really, really nice. We saw a bear just a few minutes ago out in a field here.
mama bear and her baby bear.
We just passed a farmhouse. There was a lady out there working on some lumber in the yard, and just as soon as we passed the house, there's tall grass, and then there's these bears like right there, probably 200 yards from where that lady was working. So they heard us and they went back to the woods. Otherwise, I guess they probably would have snuck up on her. I guess that would have been a surprise for all of them. But yeah, this track number 7 has been fantastic. We're coming up to the end of it. Down here for the switchbacks to kind of end it, and then we'll get into Virginia track number 8. All right, so we stopped to check out this Hurricane Campground. It's on the Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. We're going to add a waypoint for this. It's actually got some pretty good camp spots in here, and it looks like they've got several of them open. The thing is we'd probably like to go a little bit further down the trail now to finish this track and maybe even finish the next one. These are the last of the Virginia tracks. So if we can finish these, then tomorrow we could start with the North Carolina tracks, and that seems like a good stop-start point for us if we can find camping in that area. All right, so the last half of Virginia track number 8, beautiful drive. It comes right through another one of these great forests. It's coming through this Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. Beautiful forest roads through here, and a lot of dispersed camping. If you're gonna be looking for dispersed camping, this looks like a good place. We've seen at least a dozen dispersed campsites throughout here. So a lot of good camping right here on Virginia Track 8. If you're trying to figure out where you might want to stop, Virginia Track 8 looks like a good option, especially the second half of that track. And you know what? When you get here, you're very close to the end of the Virginia trails. Good morning. Hey, we're finishing up here at the Bear Tree Campground and the Bear Tree Recreation Area. We're in the very southwest corner of Virginia. We've got about 8 miles left to the Virginia tracks. And now we're getting ready to go back into North Carolina. Now, this is a substantial part of the trail. We're going to spend at least 2 days working our way through the North Carolina trails, and then we're going to be moving into Tennessee.
Nothing like a dish of hot biscuits and gravy, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These Mountain House adventure meals, we really like these. This is the biscuits and gravy. It's really good. All right. You ready? You all comfortable? Good to go? Okay. Here's a funny little part about the trail. You can see the purple is the end of the Virginia track. This dark blue is the beginning of the North Carolina track. And right here at this intersection, you can literally look across the street and see the other trail. So we came down here, came to a stop sign right here, and we come up. This is like not even a quarter of a mile. Turn around and we're coming right back, and we're like, why did we do that? We could have skipped, but don't skip it, because when you get right here, there's a really cool bridge where you can get some great photos. We've been on the North Carolina trail for about 5 minutes, and it's taken us right back to the state line. We're going back into Virginia, but don't worry, you can tell it comes up here, it's going to go right back into North Carolina. Did you find you a spot? All right, guys, so we just finished up North Carolina 1, the first track in the North Carolina section of the map. We're starting North Carolina 2. North Carolina 1 was a lot of winding country roads. There was some gravel, but it was probably 60% flat top. Nonetheless, because of the turns and everything else, we averaged 19 miles an hour through that section. It looks like this North Carolina trail, North Carolina 2, the one that we're starting now, is probably going to be about the same. I'm guessing it's going to be 60% paved and about 40% gravel. All right, so North Carolina 3 is a very short track. It's only 21 miles, but my goodness, is it taking a long time to do. We're only averaging probably 15 miles an hour, and that might be a little bit aggressive. It's just very, very windy as it works its way through the mountain path here. Forest road almost entirely tight, and just a lot of uphill, downhill, back and forth, potholes. Anything that can slow you down is on this path, so don't expect to make a lot of time on NC3. All right, well, we've come up to our first obstacle that we're going to have to take care of. There have been a lot of downed trees in this area, and we finally got to one that's right in the middle of the road. We ran into a downed tree.
Well, we didn't run into it, but we came across it.
We came across a well, no, we didn't. We came up to a downed tree. So we carry a chainsaw so that we can deal with that stuff now, especially since it's just the two of us. We like to travel in caravan. It makes things like that much easier because you've got more people to help with it. But right as we got through 98% of it, and then a local guy here, Henry, showed up, and that was perfect timing because otherwise it would have been a big lift for Tiffany and I to move that off to the side by ourselves. We would have got it done, but it was really good timing for him to show up right then, because then he could help with that part of it. Get it off the road, we're ready to go. As we reached the end of the day, we began to look for camping sites. And while we were doing this, we stumbled across this little place and instantly fell in love with it. It's the Alpine Inn in Little Switzerland, North Carolina, and it is awesome. It was an unexpected delight and a great place to stop and enjoy the sunset. Join us next time as we start the day at the Alpine Inn and then move into a truly spectacular section of the Transamerica Trail. You do not want to miss this. The Best Life Adventure Channel's Transamerica Trail series is brought to you by Extreme Jeeps and Trucks in Orlando, Florida, and by RCI Jeep and 4x4 in Melbourne, Florida.